Hey, everybody. Jim Amedeus and our intrepid reporter, street side in Barcelona,
Right.
Sean Miller. Sean, how are things in Barcelona?
Yeah, it's pretty you could tell I'm in Spain because the sun, you could see the sun instead of the
Right.
clouds.
Well,
I
Amadeus
almost
said
couldn't
you
get
can see
here
no
because
clouds.
the clouds were on the ground. Yeah, I almost couldn't get here because the clouds were on the ground at Heathrow. They weren't
Uh,
flying because of the fog, so it's a little bit crazy. But yeah, it's sun. It's gonna be really nice tomorrow. There's supposedly about 7 or 8 thousand Manchester United fans in town, so it's gonna be a little crazy. But we'll
cool.
see.
Yeah, you know it's
Uh,
not England anymore when you got umbrellas in the background
right,
like
exactly.
that.
Yeah, I'll show you around me. That right across the street is the Stacio de Franca, the Franca train station. Obviously, there's a huge park over there. Right behind me is the Gothic Quarter. There's a huge. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a walking tour. While there's a huge castle. So right about a block away. If you
Mhm.
turn right, you walk into these things, and there's a huge castle with these side streets. It's Barcelona's I don't know. It's an unbelievable town. So it's going to be pretty. There's a bar here that has all the matches on it. We were watching the PSG and the Tottenham AC Milan match. It's a big win for AC Milan yesterday. There, Amedeus. They look good yesterday.
Yeah, my bums got it done somehow. They score a fluky goal in like the 5th minute and manage to hold on for 90.
They
So
should. Yeah, I thought Tottenham was terrible. I thought you guys really outplayed them. I think now you guys are in a really good spot here because you just need to draw against a team who has only three midfielders. So I think I would probably say you're. I would favor you guys to advance at this point. And if you get to the quarterfinals in this, it's wide open. I don't think you watch PSG and Bayern. Wasn't super impressed by either team. So I think, and I think we could have a weird. I think this could be one of these weird years where you have a Porto or a Napoli or something like this. I
you're
think
gonna
you're going to
have
get a team.
Napoli or
I think you're going to
Inter.
get some strange teams. Like
I
could be
agree.
Napoli Benfica final or something like this.
I agree. I have this premonition
Yeah.
that there's going to be like an Italian team in the finals for some reason. Like there's 3 of them left, and 2 of them are playing very well right now. So it's hard for me to it's hard for me to overlook Inter and Napoli the way they're playing right now.
Hey, Sean,
I,
Amadeus
I,
was
I
talking
think
about how well Mbappe played when he came into the game yesterday in the final
he
20
was
minutes.
unbelievable.
He changed that
He
game,
was
man, late.
yeah. He changed the whole game. Yep, I was arguing with people online. They see he changed the whole game. I mean, if not for Nunez being a foot like an inch off sides there, it's a 1-1 game. I think the second leg is wide open there as well. I think
Oh,
if
absolutely.
Mbappe and Messi play, I think it's open. I wasn't super impressed by Bayern. I mean, they had a lot of the ball, but yeah, I think Napoli. I see Bill's comment there. Bill, Dortmund and Benfica. I like Benfica a lot. I think Bruges has been awful. Scotty Parker. I do. The one thing I'll say is about Dortmund, they've been playing well and Chelsea hasn't. But I was talking about. I think Chelsea is. I just have a weird feeling they're going to make a deep run in this tournament. I just think they've been really bad in England, and they might just spin off the Premier League, but they have really good players. Like this guy Enzo Fernandez is really good. I mean, they have good players, and I think in Europe, these players could play well. I have a feeling Chelsea could get a result tonight. I don't know. It's just a feeling. It's not really based on anything. I just think in the Champions League, Chelsea's going to show up, and they, if they get through this round, I think you can see. I think you're going to see them kind of bin off the Premier League because they're not doing anything in the Premier League. They're not finishing top 4. And to be honest, you're better off not finishing in the top 7 if and then going after the Champions League. But just going back on my last comment before, this is open. Chelsea could win the Champions League. I wouldn't be stunned. They have talent. They just haven't played well, and they don't have a 9. So, Bill, but I like Benfica today. Benfica would probably be my best bet of the week. And Holland, I don't know. I mean, he's banged up. I know he traveled, so we'll see. But City, you're not getting City at plus 190 any other time this year. So if you like Manchester City, you might as well take my plus 190 today.
Are they plus 190 now? I thought that was plus 130. Oh, it's gone up.
I don't know.
I
thought, yeah, because I'm not sure if I know Holland traveled. I saw him traveling, but I think maybe they're not sure if he's going to play. So I think maybe they're a crazy price today, and I think Arsenal's like this close to going in the tank. Like if they go out today and just get if City wins 3-0, I think Arsenal's done. I think they finish 3rd.
I don't think so. I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because rumor has it they're getting Jesus back very soon. He's not ready for this game, but he'll definitely be there for the next time they face Man City, and he's probably going to be back within the next 1 or 2 weeks, I would think, because he's been training, and apparently his recovery he's been speeding through it. So, they might get their guy back, Sean. They might get their guy back.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, what are the big headlines going on in
I think
Europe?
That's big for them. I just think a lot of, here is just, it's crazy because they're talking about how the 3 best teams in Europe right now might be in Europa League. Because Arsenal is playing well, Barcelona is playing well in their league, and obviously Manchester United's just been unbelievable.
They're just going to leave out Sociedad in Spain?
They've been talking about Rashford. I mean, this guy. What's that?
They're going to leave out Sociedad in Spain? How dare they?
Oh, yeah, maybe. I mean, they've been good, too. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this competition is pretty competitive. Yeah, no, I think that's right. But, I mean, even here, I mean, I think in England you don't realize how big Marcus Rashford is. And, he's the leading scorer in the whole of the world now since the World Cup. I mean, the guy's been... he's in Ballon d'Or form. He scores every single game. I mean, they just the whole coverage has just been about how good he's been. I mean, since the World Cup's ended, he's scored in every game but 2. And in those 2 games, I think he had 2 assists. I mean, the guy's he can't stop scoring. I think he might have an illness, so he might not play. If he doesn't play, I think United's in trouble because they're missing some other players too. Once again, it's great to be here, but if Manchester United gets knocked out of the Europa League, it's not the worst thing in the world. I think they'll go on and finish 2nd or 3rd in the Premier League if it happens. And I think they just have to win a cup. If they win the Carabao Cup and finish 3rd and maybe go to a FA Cup semifinal or something like that, I'd be happy. But talking a lot about, obviously when this, over here now, the story about the referees. I mean, I guess Barcelona had the head referee on, he paid him 1.5 million euros. So, that's a little dodgy. So there's they're saying, maybe it was for consulting. So that kind of story kind of is blowing up a little bit today here. But mostly it's about the game tomorrow. I know Real Madrid plays tonight. There's a lot of big games tonight. Real Madrid plays, obviously, the Champions League, City and Arsenal, and then the Europa League playoffs. I mean, there's 8 games tomorrow. So it's a really big week finally of it's been there's been some good weeks, but I think now that the European games are back, I think it's up a notch. So it's pretty interesting here.
So the weather looks nice. What's the weather like there in Barcelona today? Give me your weather
It's
forecast.
about 60, close to 60, and yeah, it's close to, it's a little, it's, I know for tomorrow, like tonight and tomorrow is supposed to drop down. Like tomorrow night for the match is going to be about 45 maybe, so a little chilly at night. But I mean, I was walking around here today basically in a t-shirt for a while. So I mean, it was about 60. We're close to the ocean. I mean, the Mediterranean is about maybe 6 blocks right there. It's really easy to get to. So it's a little windy, but I'm not going to complain. But I heard it's like 65 at home, so it's really nice. I mean, England is,
Is
it's
England.
cloudy. I know. Yeah. Manchester rains all the time. So like that's the thing. All these English fans are here, and they're just like they're walking
Beating
around
it
in
up.
shorts. They don't know what to. They don't know what that big thing in the sun. Yeah, they're like, what the hell is that thing in the sky? I don't know what that is. I haven't seen it.
It's an
like in
unidentified
Manchester.
flying object. Yes.
Yeah, it rained for like 30 straight days in Manchester this winter. So like I think they don't know what to do with themselves here.
They don't know
So
what
they're
the
running
sun
around.
is.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So you said there'll be quite a nice contingent of United fans there tomorrow.
Then maybe like 8,000 by the time the game starts.
Wow.
There's a bunch here. I came in yesterday in the afternoon. There was already some here. There's a lot here now, and there's more coming in. Like the Las Ramblas will be packed tonight. It'll be pretty crazy, and then obviously Thursday. But it's when you get a chance to come over here, I mean it's a little crazy because they gouge you. Like my flight back is 6 a.m. on Ryanair Friday to Manchester because the other flights were all like $350, $400. My flight was like 40. So, it's just it's ridiculous. I mean, they gouge you for the flights because they know all the people are going back. So, but it's if a lot of people get a chance to come over here for a couple days, it's a little mini vacation. So.
Well, the other thing is, they wouldn't be a sports city if they didn't gouge you. That's part of the deal.
Yeah.
Part of the charm.
Yeah. It's excuse me. Yeah, it's. I think. Look, there's not a team in Europe that travels like Manchester United. You see some of these. It used to be a joke. Like City would go to games and bring 250 people, but obviously they have more now because they all the fair weather fans they have. But there's been some issues with today. I know the ATC in Germany went down, so a lot of flights were canceled. Yesterday, a lot of flights were canceled because of weather. So it's been a lot. I listened to a lot of people who had to get routed through Madrid or routed through Brussels to Barcelona yesterday because of that. And then today, obviously, with the system going down, I think in Dusseldorf, flights are getting rerouted all over the place. But it doesn't. It's just people are just getting there. It doesn't matter. They're just coming to obviously see United play. It's interesting too. Like when you talk to the people that go to the matches, it's not maybe about like the. Obviously, you want to see them win. Like against Leeds, I was at the Leeds match on Sunday. It was just carnage, but like it's more about like meeting up with people and hanging out in the sun and stuff like that. And
hanging out in the sun, which we never get to do in the Premier League.
Exactly. Trying to and all that stuff.
I don't have to bring the garbage bag with holes in it today.
Right.
Exactly.
You're safe.
I got to go meet one of the journos here. I just wanted to check in and say hi to everybody. But
Well, we greatly appreciate it.
I'll be back on tomorrow. We'll go over some of these Europa League matches.
Cool. Well, look, have a great day.
All right.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
See everybody tomorrow.
Yeah, enjoy your day, man.
Bye. Yeah, have a good time. Well, there you go. You never know who might just drop in, literally.
Oh, yeah. Nice sunny weather.
Yeah. So why would you not want to be in Spain, for heaven's sake?
Looks nice. You could tell, right? Like right when he came in, it was like the sun's in the background. The buildings don't look 100 years old. It was like, oh my God, that's definitely not in England anymore.
Right. It's it looked like you wanted to be there. Look at that. I mean, it looked like there was some nice street cafes behind them.
Yeah, bright yellows, nice vibrant colors in the background, not this dreariness to match the weather.
Right. It's like, oh God. Yeah, and then the Mediterranean right around the corner, not a bad deal. So,
just take a walk there.
Yeah, he said he's only 3 blocks away. Might as well go.
Mm-hmm.
You're there, it's there. So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
So now, what's going on today that is exciting? Let's take a look at the schedule for today.
Yeah, I got a few big games. Obviously, the 2 Champions League, and then there's the Arsenal, Man City in the Premier League. La Liga also has the Real Madrid and Elche match, as Sean mentioned, but I don't think anybody wants to bet on Real Madrid at minus 550. You'd have to take them -2 here, and frankly, I don't think they've been that great lately. I can't see them blowing Elche out 3-0, 4-0 when they haven't been playing that way. So that's a game just stay off it. There's 3 better games today.
Right, stay away, do not touch.
Yeah, there's some big boy games today, so stay off the small fries there, Elche. Not a great team, but this I guess we'll start it with the Champions League. Obviously, I know Sean touched on Bill's question there, Dortmund and Benfica. Yeah, Benfica is a team that Sean's been talking about hopping on them over the last few weeks. They were plus 100 and now they're minus 120 coming into today. I think that was like that yesterday too. So bit of money has come on Benfica. They've lost a few players in the transfer window, but this Club Brugge team, they have been brutal in Belgium. Just brutal. I think they've drawn like 5 of their last 6 matches, but if you can't, this is a team that used to dominate Belgium for years. If you can't beat the clubs in your own domestic league, how are you going to fare against Benfica, who, remember, won their group with PSG in it from the group stage? So it's a very good Benfica team. Now, one thing I've noticed about Benfica, if you go back to the group stage and you go back to they had to start in the qualifiers. They had to play a few qualifiers to get into the group stage because they didn't win Portugal last year. But in the group stage, they won 4 of their 6 group matches. The only 2 they didn't win were both draws against PSG. And obviously we know they both finished 4-2-0 in the group. So then you go back to the qualifiers. They won every single game in the qualifying. And it didn't matter if they had won the first leg at home 4-1. They still went out in the second leg on the road and won 3-1. They did not care about their lead on aggregate. So this is a team that, it makes me think they're just going to go out there. They're just going to go out there and play. And if they could take a 3-0 lead back to Portugal for the second leg, they will gladly do that. This is a team that really does go for it. And they still have Gonzalo Ramos. They lost Enzo Fernandez, but they still have Gonzalo Ramos, who kind of blew up a bit for Portugal in the World Cup. So they still have a lot of talent. And they've only conceded, I think, 1 goal in their last 5 matches, and it was in a cup match that they lost in penalties after getting 2 red cards. So, playing 11 versus 9 there, and they still managed to come away with a 1-1 draw. So this is a very good Benfica team.
That's pretty amazing. There's some fun stuff here too. There's, like Sean had just said about, there it is. Okay. Arsenal, Man City. By the way, real quick for those of you wishing to watch the games today, Benfica and their game is on Paramount Plus, and that starts at 3. Borussia Dortmund and Chelsea is on the big CBS, so you got that. Arsenal Man City, that's a 2:30 start on Peacock, and on ESPN Deportes and ESPN Plus is Real Madrid and Elche in the Spanish league. And as far as the Mexican league and all the rest of that stuff, that's we'll just let that go for the time being.
Yeah, when things start to die down, then we fall back on the North
American
leagues.
When there's nothing else to talk about, that we'll pick that stuff up. But
yeah, then it's like, what's Mexico and Brazil up to?
Right. Let's go take a look down south of the border.
Yeah, how are my guys Flamengo? What are they up to lately?
Right. What's going on here? So anyway, yeah, it is what it is. There's nothing we're gonna do about it. But yeah, it's definitely fun, and things are hopping there. But we'll see. We will definitely see. On the interesting side this week, story yesterday, Tiger Woods is going to play Riviera this week. Now, for those of you who forget, it was after the Genesis tournament a couple of years ago that's where he had the big accident, was out there in Los Angeles. So he's returning to the scene of the accident area. Riviera is a tough country club, and wouldn't have been my first choice to go back, but I guess for Tiger, he figures, why not?
Yeah, I saw that when I logged into DraftKings, it was the first thing right in my face. Get a Tiger's return boost. Get Tiger Woods at plus 200 to make the cut, and I said, okay, so Tiger's returning. He's playing in this week's tournament, and I thought to myself, so if this is his first tournament back, you want me to take him to make the cut when this guy could shoot 8 over on like the first day and just destroy any chances of my bet? No thanks.
Riviera is not an easy club to play.
And I'm glad you said that, because that reinforced my decision even more.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna go out there and shoot 20 under like somebody's, at the end of the 4 days, being that well.
And the other thing is, like, can he even walk the course? Like, is he?
I don't. Here's the thing: had he started in Florida, in the March part of the tour, that would make sense because they're all flat.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a little bit of elevation to it. This is, the for those who are not familiar with Los Angeles, okay, Los Angeles is in a basin, okay, so it's kind of flat right there, but there's hills all around it, okay. Riviera is literally in Beverly Hills, okay. It's up. There's a lot of elevation to it. It goes into the Pacific Palisades. What you don't see, and it's in many ways it's kind of sad you don't. It's literally less than a block from the Pacific Ocean. There's, right there, all the wonderful views you got, when they were in Pebble Beach, right, of the ocean, you can get the same ones there on Riviera if you just knock down, about 30 or 40 trees that have been there for 100 years. So it's not going to happen. But the point being, elevation is there. You got wind coming off the ocean. That's not where you necessarily want to start your 2023 season if you haven't played, in a while.
Yeah, not even it. There's all those factors. So you got the elevation, you got the wind, you got the fact that the ocean, being a massive body of water, tends to pull the ball towards it. So you even got to take that into account when you're putting and things like that. Like, you're gonna get a bit of a pull. So yeah, he picked a hell of a tournament to make a return. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would, check his tee times too, because, being that close to water, you're going to have morning dew. It's going to be all over the place. You may even have a little morning fog. Okay. And so, yeah, I mean, he's gonna, he's gonna play the morning one day. It's either Thursday or Friday. So, check the tee time. If it's early morning, whoa, that would not be preferable, because that ball's gonna be, when you hit that dew, that ball's gonna be spraying all over the place. So
Oh yeah.
I don't know. And then the other part of it is that because you're that close to the ocean, the temps are down a little bit. So if he gets out early in the morning, how is the dampness going to affect his leg?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like the bones, right?
Right.
And it might be even a little cooler just because
Sure.
of the breeze, I guess, from the ocean breeze. So it's a lot of factors to take in. Now, obviously, he doesn't have the humidity he would have of being in Florida, and maybe that was part of what influenced.
You get a lot of wind in Florida. To be fair, you get a lot of wind in Florida in March.
So maybe he was looking at it like the wind and the humidity, but yeah, I would have picked an easier course, definitely, if I was.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the course last week in Phoenix, where the Waste Management, it's not a tough course. It's a PGA course. Okay.
No, they got to roll the bleachers out there, so it can't be too many obstacles in the way. Right.
No, it's a pretty level course for and it's in the desert, right? So what do you have to lose? I mean, you could that's definitely a tournament over 4 days you could get in double figures under par.
Exactly. Flatter course, dry heat.
And of course, the Super Bowl would have been there. I mean, Tiger would have rolled out and had a good time.
They would have showed him on TV.
Yeah, they showed him on TV, and then he'd have been on the course, and then make a quick trip over to the stadium.
He could have been practicing chips while Gronk's practicing his kicks.
Right. He could have been playing putt-putting in Charles Barkley's backyard. I mean, whatever. I don't care. Charles lives in Phoenix, so he's going to get it done.
Does he? I actually didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So
he's going to be watching a lot of Kevin Durant.
The big, he's got the big home and mansion out there in the desert. But no, I would have thought that might have been a better place for him, because again, also the fans. I mean, you get juiced up by the fans. You get that 16th, get the fans.
Come on, Tiger! Banging the bleachers.
Yeah, I mean, they could even have Tiger Woods, blow ups, where they got his face there. That would have been all cool. That's not gonna happen in Riviera. No. So I thought it was, and then to a little extent, and I don't know. I mean, this is playing junior pop psychologist here. You're going back to the place where you got in a hell of an accident last time you're there. You spent. What did he spend? He spent like 4 weeks in the hospital at UCLA. Yeah. So, I'm not so sure that, he's got PSD going back there. I have no idea.
Yeah. Interesting choice. It's definitely an interesting choice as to
look, Tiger is Tiger, but he's been rebuilt Tiger. Okay. He's got the bionic legs.
He's literally the $6 million man.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see him making the cut.
It's like half cyborg.
Yeah. God knows I've been wrong before, but I sure don't see him making the cut.
No, I totally agree with you, because he could easily go like 6 over, 8 over on the first day, right? A few bad shots. It's your first time back. That's why when I saw that, all that told me was, okay, Tiger's coming back this weekend. Definitely not betting on him though, because like that's just a trap. That's
if you're lucky, you'll see him on Saturday, but probably not. Probably have to watch him on Thursday or Friday.
Exactly right, but maybe he's trying. I guess he's trying to start early, because he doesn't just want to go right into the Masters.
No, I get it. I mean, it would have. He's what? Let's see.
But like you said, last week would have been better to come back. And
there's another California stop, I think, before they hit Florida. But
it could be a thing where he also just likes the course. I know he's that kind of guy.
There's nothing. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a beautiful course. Do not get me wrong. It's a beautiful course, but it's just it's not an easy course. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, like he is that kind of guy though. Like last year, you know, he knew there was no chance he was even going to qualify for the cut at St. Andrews, but it's his favorite course. And he knew that he was going to struggle to walk it in the dampness and all that. But, you know, he made it a point to force himself through it and finish the 2 days at least as much as he could make it. Obviously, he didn't qualify, but yeah, like, he's just that kind of guy. If it's a course he really likes, he'll put himself through the pain to do it. So that could be just, you know, maybe this is on his like top 10 list. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's one of his favorites.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that.
And he could be looking at it like, look, I've won so much stuff. I'm at the back end of my career. I know I'm probably not going to win another tournament again. At this point in my life, I don't need the money either. At this point, I'm just trying to, you know, play my favorite golf courses while I still can.
Yeah, and look, I mean, by the way, tomorrow his tee time is 3:04 in the afternoon.
Okay, so they're helping him out a bit. They gave him a little bit of a booster.
So what that means is on Friday, his tee time in the morning is going to be much closer to noon than it's going to be to the early morning.
That's good. That's good. So they definitely, you know what? I think maybe they helped him out a bit because they probably know he's there. He's there just to. They know he's not going to win it. He's there just to play it. I think.
I mean, he's out there. He can hang with LeBron. He can hang with stars. He can hang. It's Los Angeles.
Exactly.
So you know, if you're going to hang, that's not a bad place to hang. So you know, I get it. It's not an easy course, but you know, the other thing is maybe he's learning to challenge himself.
Exactly. He seems like he likes a challenge, right? Especially with the
so
putting himself through all that pain.
It's like, you know, because it's going to be. I mean, I gotta imagine if he's staying off at 3 tomorrow, 3-ish, and then that means he's not going to finish till close to 7 p.m. out in the Pacific Coast.
I was going to say, I'm not even going to be able to watch him till like 6 p.m. It'll be nighttime here.
Yeah, it'll be nighttime in, you know, here, but when it's him in out there. Yeah, I think that it'll be interesting to see how he plays. It'll be interesting to see who wins that tournament. This is one of those tournaments where, you know, accuracy, you know, you can hit the ball long, but what we'll do tomorrow is we'll put I'll get a clip of the course and we'll go hole through the holes. But it's a very narrow course. I mean, there's homes on the course. Okay, so you basically have to. You got to hit. You got to hit the ball straight. You got to hit the ball.
You can't be shanking it left, or you're bound. Maybe you'll get a bounce off the brick, but
right, you smack into a $27 million mansion. It's you might be hitting the ball out of Kevin Costner's backyard.
If you get a bounce off the brick, it's okay. It's when you hit the glass, then you're in trouble. When you hit the glass,
you're in somebody's solarium, chipping out, that's when you know you're in trouble.
Damn it! I'm in the living room. I'll be back. It's gonna take me 2 strokes to get out of here.
Right. It's definitely a problem, boys and girls.
Yeah, I've played a few courses like that.
So
they like through the neighborhood.
It's not a forgiving course. It's a very pretty course, but it's not a forgiving one.
And you know, my favorite is like they overprice those houses so much. It's like, you have this beautiful golf course in your backyard, and I'm like, oh yeah, so I gotta wake up to golf balls in my living room, and you want me to pay extra for that? Like, come on.
Well, I mean, there's that, but there's also, let's just assume for the moment that they don't smack your, you know, they don't end up in your backyard constantly. I can tell you from staying in places like that, I stayed one time in Doral. Saturday morning at 7 o'clock, there is nothing but noise going on because they're out there, they're prepping the greens, they're prepping everything for the day. Then in a half hour, everybody's playing. You get your, and you're all of a sudden you're like,
They're drunk before 10 a.m.
yeah, exactly. You're like, this is crazy. I mean, it is what it is, but Riviera is it's a gorgeous course, and it's a challenging one, and it's maybe that's, as I said, maybe that's what Tiger wants. He wants to be challenged. He's hanging with his friends. It's not a bad weekend. So
I will say, to be fair to those courses up here, I think a lot of them, I think the houses are more expensive because they usually come with a membership included to the golf.
Oh, there's that. Yeah, that's true. That's what TPC did. I mean, TPC built a lot of those courses where the houses are on the course, and then your fee is included in it.
Yeah.
And the other thing that they did is they built they're backing off the beaten trail. I mean, you can see the course, but it's not like most of the time you see the course from a second level. In other words, on your second level of your house, you may have a little deck or something out there, and you can look out onto the course. You can't see it from down ground level. So there's that. But most of the TPC courses are built like the one in Phoenix, where it's what they call a stadium course. They built up around it so you can stand around the green or stand out on the fairway. And you can see things that you couldn't see if it were like the traditional, like Riviera, like a traditional course where, it's not built for spectators. It's built to watch, to play the game. So, there's that. So that should make for a very entertaining week.
Yeah.
We also have the 2023 edition of the Great American Race, Daytona 500, which is going to have some interest into it. Kevin Harvick will be rolling through his last hurrah on for the Penske guys, and a lot of cars that a lot of drivers and cars that in the next gen cars that they have out there in Daytona. So that will be coming up this weekend as well. They're the only circuit sport that actually begins with their biggest race of the season that's the first race of the season.
Daytona, that's is that NASCAR or Indy?
That's NASCAR.
That's the NASCAR. Okay. Yeah, I got a guy, Rad Cape. He's big into NASCAR. So
well, there's your race.
That's his sport.
That kicks it off, and they go. It's a 2.5 mile, what they call tri-oval, meaning it's not quite circular. It's got a little bit of a undulation around it, what they call the tri-oval, which is where you come out of the fourth turn. You come out of the fourth turn, you go out and down.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like an S curve in F1 or any of that.
Okay.
It is, however, pretty interesting, and it's a fun course to watch the race. If everybody doesn't mind taking left turns, so that's pretty. Trying to unmute my mic and I put me out. Not that anybody cares.
I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah, the technology is amazing when you know how to use it. And I clearly didn't. It's a long race. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's 2.5 miles, and should be interesting. Should be an interesting race because the one thing about NASCAR is you don't know what these cars are going to do until you get out on the course, and when they also wreck a lot at Daytona because the way they've done this is you now double up as cars. So like you'll get one car pushing your car. You'll have a team. You'll tandem up and you'll say, okay, look, we're going to do this. So think of this. You got a guy on your bumper who's literally on your bumper, okay, not more than an inch away from you, that's going 175 to 200 miles an hour with you, pushing you. Okay. Here's where things get to be a problem. If that guy gets a little to the left or a little to the right, that changes the aerodynamics and what goes on. and that car suddenly goes sideways like that, you still are going, but he's not. And the people behind you are suddenly in the midst of a, oh, where do I go from here type situation. And so that's what causes Daytona to be crazy, is because they do the tandem driving where you're paired up with someone, and then toward the end of the race, it's like it's only natural, right? You want to win the race, so what you might do is make that slide down just a little bit to get around the guy. And again, if you don't do it properly, the aerodynamics of the car turns the car that you were pushing right into you. So you literally wreck yourself, which is not a good thing. No, definitely not. The IndyCar races open in St. Petersburg on the streets there in March, the first week of March. So they will be they'll be running at that point. F1, I think F1 starts next week.
I'm not really sure. Racing's not big into racing.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, that's where that's going. But some crucial college basketball this weekend too, as we get closer to March Madness. The tournaments are coming up soon, the conference tournaments. So everybody's playing for seeding right now. Seeding in the conference tournaments and then potentially seeding in the NCAA tournament. So, if you're a college basketball fan, there's pretty much plenty to watch in every conference this week. You want to make sure that your team, whatever they may be, is ready to rock and roll for the conference tournament and then go on to the NCAA tournament. And then, as we said, pitchers and catchers are in Florida and Arizona ready to rock and roll today. So they're going, most of the teams are going through their physicals today, and then they'll get their gloves and ball, and out they go. So, and remember that this year we have a World Baseball Classic. So there'll be games starting early, which, guys will be away from their team and being playing for the country when the baseball tournament begins, and that's going to start mid-February and it'll play through March, and we get an end of March opening day. So
that's good.
Early money's on the Dominican, as it always is, because it's a lot of good players from the Dominican Republic. And Team USA, we'll see how that plays out. But it's and even get some interesting Team Italy. I mean, there's been some Piazza
is there really?
Yeah, there's a Team Israel, which I always thought was kind of funny.
We have like a double IHF hockey team too, and I'm always like, man, there's no ice in Italy. Like, where did these guys learn to play the sport? I've been to Italy. Like, maybe the north, I guess.
I was going to say maybe gelato.
I was going to say, I guess, like, in the mountain areas, that's where you would get the skiers and the hockey
you got
players.
the skiers.
Yeah, they'd probably be more northern people, but where my people are from, like the middle and the south of Italy, there's no snow. I was like, we have a hockey team? Really? Okay, I'll bet against them. Thanks for letting me know.
Well, I mean, they got hockey teams in in Florida, so you never know.
You know what? Latvia's got a better team than Italy.
For those interested, the World Baseball Classic begins on March the 7th, ends on March the 21st. So there you go.
Probably have to tune into that.
And,
some pre-baseball action.
Yeah, some pre-baseball. Here's the pool. Pool 1, Chinese Taipei. Okay. The Netherlands, Cuba, the aforementioned juggernaut of Italy, and Panama.
Put your money on the Italians. Get money on the Italians. I didn't even know they knew what baseball was. It's interesting.
So Pool B, Japan, Korea, Australia. These are three big.
Those are going to be good teams. I watched the Korean league, so
Japan,
bad pitching in Korea, but
yeah, Australia, China, and the Czech Republic. Pool C, United States, Mexico, Colombia, Canada, and Great Britain. And the final one, Pool D, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, the aforementioned Israeli team, and Nicaragua. That's a loaded pool.
It seems like they tried to make the pools very similar in time zone, and then threw like one outsider in there, like the Great Britain one in North America. That's what I mean. Israel in the South American group, Britain in the North American group.
The Czech Republic in with all the Asian teams.
That's what I mean, right? It was like literally like, okay, we'll pool all the time zones, and then we have a few leftovers, so we'll just like scatter them in.
But Pool A is the one that's really got the most bizarre, because you got Chinese Taipei, you got the Netherlands, you got Cuba, you got Italy and Panama.
That's like the mix. That was like the mixed bag group. So
that's the only one we have left.
They did the groups backwards. They went North America, South America, Europe, Asia, and then we're like, okay, well, we got these handful of teams, so we'll do like a miscellaneous group, and then the other 5 just like sprinkle them in the groups.
They're playing Pool A in Taiwan.
Okay.
Pool B is being played in Tokyo.
You'd think though, like the Chinese Taipei, you'd think they'd put that in with like Korea and Japan and China, mm-hmm. Similar leagues, similar area time zone, but it's okay. We don't make schedules, Jim. That's not our job.
We don't. Yeah.
Apparently scheduling is not a big thing these days.
Yeah, exactly. Pool C, which is the USA, Mexico, Colombia, Canada, and Great Britain, is going to be played in Phoenix. And Pool D, which is Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Israel, Nicaragua, they're playing in Miami.
Oh, okay.
So
it's only really like Britain and Israel that suffer time zone wise in those 2 pools specifically.
Yeah, but they're also in places where we just got Sean reporting from Spain saying how lovely it is. I'm sure the Brits are not going to be too unpleased playing in Phoenix.
Sun, heat. Yeah. There's in other places too.
We're in the desert. Yeah,
it's not just Spain.
And then you got the humidity and the wind in Miami, but they're probably playing those games in the Marlins Stadium. The quarterfinals. Quarterfinal 1 is in Tokyo. Quarterfinal 2 is in Miami. The semis and the finals are in Miami. So there you go. Mm-hmm. And all of those games will be televised, so we'll get a chance to see some.
I know Canada has a handful of good players, baseball. But I don't know if we have enough to make a full team.
Yeah, well, you got to wonder if all of those teams have enough to make a full team.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like,
everybody plays either. I mean, that's the other thing.
That's true too. That's true. A lot of those teams, like Italy, but with the major ones, like the Dominican Republic, U.S., basically anything like in the Central America area, they love their baseball. So I know they're going to be good. Yeah. USA, even if their talent's not as good as Dominican Republic, they have the numbers in people.
Right. That's in pure volume.
The thing is, we don't have good infrastructure. I told you, a lot of my friends, if they're good in baseball, they go to the States and go to like a college there, right? So this is what I mean is it's like we have a few players that, get sprinkled down and manage to make it into the big leagues. But I don't know if we have enough to put together like an actual, let's get 9 guys in the lineup. Let's get a decent pitching staff together. Like it might just be some makeshift guys in there too, or maybe just some players. There's probably a lot of Canadians in the MLB that I don't know about that just aren't like well known or good. I know Josh Naylor, I think it's Canadian. Cal Quantrill. Yeah. That's it's like I think that's all I know for Canadians.
There's your starting lineup. I mean your team. Okay. I was looking at
Jim's like that. Yeah, I don't recognize a single player. I guess you guys are crap.
Here's the thing. The first 9 players on the team that are listed on the team were born in Australia but moved to Canada.
Sounds about right. That's what how our soccer team was made up. Like our goalie was from Serbia and moved over like when they had the Yugoslavic war or whatever. And that's why he's our goalie for the soccer national team as a way to repay Canada for, taking them in the hard times. So like, yeah, our team is.
Okay, so not a single member of the Canadian national team was born in Canada.
Yeah, I could see that. 100%.
They're all
That sounds
Australian.
right.
They're all Australian, New Zealand, and South Africa.
That sounds right to me.
So, okay.
Told you it would be makeshift guys.
Yeah, well, I didn't think that all of them would be,
Unless like the Canadian MLB players opted out, right? I know not everyone.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Wanted to play.
Maybe.
It might just be like they know there's only like 4 of us, and we're gonna have to play with makeshift guys anyway. So like, why not just take?
Wait a minute. This just in. Freddie Freeman, Tyler O'Neill,
Freddie Freeman's Canadian.
Are going to be playing for the Canadian team.
Freddie Freeman's Canadian, really?
His mother's Canadian.
Interesting. And you said Naylor, right? Yeah. I thought
Tyler,
I knew.
Naylor.
I know Naylor. No, Josh Naylor.
Let's look.
Wow. We don't even get the good one. Wow.
Yeah.
We don't even get the good one.
Okay, no. Let's see. I'm looking real quick to see what we can get.
It's slim. I'm telling you, slim pickings with these Canadians and MLB. Okay. And then our pitching staff is led by like Cal Quantrill and a bunch of minor leaguers.
Okay, so here's your catchers. Kalen Deegan, the Guardians. Okay. And Andrew Yerzy, who is a minor leaguer for the Guardians.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't know.
Okay, so let's move.
The Guardians have Naylor too. They have a few Canadians. The Guardians like to snatch up us Canadians.
Freddie Freeman is your first baseman. Not a bad one to have.
Yeah, no, he's a good.
Edmund Julian of the Twins is also in the infield. Otto Lopez of the Blue Jays. Abraham Torres of the Brewers. Domenico Pellegrini of the Blue Jays.
That's like an Italian.
Yeah.
That's like me. That's an Italian that was born in Canada.
Right. Kieran Young and the Cubs, all of your infielders. Most of these guys, by the way, are prospects.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't recognize like that. The guy from the Blue Jays, you said Renato Lopez or whatever. That's not a starter. That's not one of them.
He's not on my flip card. Outfielders: Owen Casey of the Cubs, Denzel Clark of the A's, Tyler O'Neill of the Cardinals, and Jacob Robinson of who knows who. Let's see what we got.
Take the 2 weeks off. Oh my God.
Okay, here's your pitching staff: Andrew Albers, Felipe Almont, John Axford. So we still do not have a pitcher who's in the major leagues on any level.
Montreal opted out then because he's the only Canadian pitcher I know. I know he's Canadian.
Right.
Unless he's injured again.
Matt Brash of the Mariners. Mitch Pratt.
I know Matt Brash. He's not bad. He's not too bad, I think.
Right. Mitch Pratt of the Rangers. Trevor Brigham of the Rays. Indigo Diaz of the Yankees.
You didn't believe me, Jim. You didn't believe me. Now you're sitting there like, what the hell is this team I'm
looking at this, I'm going, I thought I knew baseball. There's not a person on here right now.
This isn't baseball, Jim. This is not. This is Canadian baseball.
Let's do one real quick. Others. Let's take a real look at the.
Go to the American team, and when you see some names, then you'll know you're not crazy. It's just okay. Canada doesn't have any good players. I'm telling you, we all opted out because I know Quantrill's Canadian. Oh, isn't one of the Braves pitchers is really good.
There's a lot of them.
I know. I was going to say it's not Soroka Freed, is it?
Wait a minute.
It's the other guy.
There's a change.
He was injured last year.
You remember we just talked about Castagrino, the kid from Canada?
He's on the Italian team.
He just moved to the Italian team.
Yeah, because he's realized he was like, I have a better chance with the Italians.
Yes, I can play for them. All right. Their 30-man roster includes Royals infielders Vinny Pasquarello, Nick Lopez, Angels infielder David Fletcher.
Mike Soroka's Canadian. He's the one. He was
They got
injured
Matt
last
Harvey.
year.
Matt Harvey. No, Matt hasn't played in a while, but yeah. Matt
Yeah. I know that name. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a name. Okay, I'm looking on Vito Frestia of the Phillies, Alberto Mino, Dominican Republic, and
This is the which team is this
the
again?
Italian team.
This is the Italian team. We got a Dominican guy.
Here's
Okay.
this one's a little
That'll
tough
help.
to pronounce because it's a very, very Italian name. Brett Sullivan of the Padres. David Fletcher, the Angels, not a bad infielder.
These guys are Italian, really?
Somehow,
and they chose to like.
Maybe they've eaten in an Italian restaurant.
I was gonna say like they actually chose. They're like, I want to go play for Team Italy. That seems like we'll have a chance. Yeah, that'll be
maybe
good.
you get to start. I'm looking at the pictures, and I'm really not finding anybody I know.
But yeah, Mike Soroka was the Braves pitcher. That's Canadian.
Oh, okay.
He didn't play last year because he was injured, but
he's not on the roster.
I think. Well, is he still injured? Like, what's going on with him? I know he didn't play last year, but he's actually a good pitcher, Soroka. But he is Canadian.
Yeah.
100% he's Canadian. So like, we do have good pitchers in the MLB. They just choose not to play for us.
He was coming off Tommy John surgery, I think.
Okay, yeah. So that's what. Maybe he'll be good for this season then. So. Yeah, that might be something to look forward to. Braves getting a boost to that pitching staff.
Maybe he's just decided the best thing to do is to rest his arm.
Yeah, I knew we had a Canadian guy that was really good on the Braves, but I haven't heard him in a while because he's just been out.
Okay, let's take a look. You said go to Team USA. All right, let's go to Team USA.
I'm sure we'll see some names. Got Mike Trout. Did he opt out? Mike Trout.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely recognize the catchers. JT Realmuto of the Phillies and Will Smith of the Dodgers.
Real Muto, that guy could be Italian. He should come join Italy.
Yeah, hey, now he's splitting time with Will Smith of the Dodgers.
Anybody with a slightly Italian name, I'm going to try and poach. Come here.
You got 2 Gold Glove catchers. Okay. The infielders, Pete Alonso. There's another Italian for you.
Yeah. Polar Bear Pete. Pete, come on. Pete. We got pasta. Let's go.
Yeah. Tim Anderson of the White Sox. Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals. Paul Goldsmith. Stop me if you haven't heard these guys.
I was going to say, these are all good players.
Trey Turner of the Phillies and Bobby Wood. You got an all-star infield.
So, you're not crazy, Jim. It's just Canada's bad.
Holy mackerel. I didn't think that. The outfield's Mookie Betts, Jeff O'Neill, Cedric Mullins, Kyle Schwarber, Mike Trout, and Kyle Tucker.
Are you sure the Dominicans are going to win?
Let's see who the pitchers are. Jason Adams of the Rays. Daniel Baird of the Rockies.
Okay, so this is where it drops off.
Yeah. Andy Bednar of the Pirates.
Because that's right. That's right. The U.S. goes to Japan and Korea to get all their pitchers.
Right. You got Lance Lynn of the White Sox, Kershaw, Miles Mikolas of the Cardinals, not bad. Oh, yeah, Adam Ottavino of the Mets, Ryan Presley of the Astros, Brooks Riley of the Mets, Brady Singer of the Royals, Adam Wainwright of the Cardinals, and David Williams. You got enough pitchers to get yourself through.
So you got strong offense.
You're gonna score a lot of runs.
That's the point. Is you got strong offense.
You're gonna smash the ball all over the field.
Okay, if the pitcher is a gas can, it's fine. You got 12 runs coming.
Yeah, there's gonna have to be a mercy rule here somewhere.
I've always wondered that too. Like when a team's up by 10 and it's like the guys throwing out position players on the mat, the other team's throwing out position players. They know they're not coming back from 12 runs. Like, can we just end the game, please? Like nobody wants to play anymore.
I think they're putting in there was talk that they may put in a rule where you couldn't use a position player to pitch.
I saw that
because they were afraid somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah, they changed the rules around that. I didn't look exactly what the rules are, but I did see that was a new thing they changed.
They didn't want anybody to get hurt. So maybe there's a mercy rule. But there's always a game once a year where a team's down by 8 or 9 runs and ends up losing it.
That is true.
And
I watched the Phillies blow a
doesn't happen
7-1
often.
lead in the ninth.
Does not happen often. But I'll never forget the Mets and the Nationals played a game 3 or 4 years ago. The Nationals were down by 8 or 9 runs, and it was early in the game. And by the 8th inning, they came back, and then they scored 5 runs in the ninth to win the game. And the Nationals broadcasters are hilarious, the radio guys. They were saying, if you left at 7 o'clock in the 7th inning, you missed it. It was the game of the year. So, yeah, but who knows, right?
No,
you don't
seriously.
know 5 runs in the last inning.
Last year, I gave the Mets out to beat the Phillies in a game, and it was 7-1 for the Phillies going into the ninth inning. And I think there was like 2 outs left too, or something like that. Maybe there wasn't 2 outs, but they were definitely 7-1 going into the ninth. And thank you, Corey Knievel, because I cashed my bet.
There you go.
Because he came out and he gave up 7 runs. Like, he absolutely just laid an egg on the mound. And he was a problem for the Phillies. Like, it wasn't just that game. He was a problem. Yeah. Every time Knievel came out on the mound, I was like, cashing my bet today.
It's like whether you get evil Knievel. You're not getting Corey Knievel.
Yeah, it's like 4 runs coming in. Let's go.
Are you an advocate of the first 5?
Yeah, I'll play first 5. Absolutely.
Betting the first 5.
Depending on I like the totals. Depending on the pitchers, I'll play the first 5 totals a lot.
That's where DeGrom would make you a lot of money, I would think.
Yeah, just take the under, and then as soon as he's out, it doesn't matter. The 6
Get the hell out of there. Yeah.
In the 6th, right? He gave you your 5 innings.
Well, yeah, he wouldn't go by the 6 much. So
yeah. We'll talk when baseball starts. Like I said, I said my record on the show the other day, so I'm ready. I'm ready, Jim. We'll talk some baseballs. Getting ready for some getting destroyed in every other sport. So no. It's wonky times with the NBA. They just had the trade deadline, and they're going into the All-Star break this weekend. So it's like, do you really want to bet NBA? Exactly. Yeah. They don't play defense anyway. Nobody cares on a nightly basis.
I knew the other day, somehow I accidentally wandered onto a Wizards game. And it's like, okay, just for the hell of it, let me see what the score is. And I looked at the score, and the Wizards are up by 20. Okay. That never happens.
You're like, how are the Wizards up by 20?
Yeah, it's like they're playing Georgetown. No, I'm just kidding. So they're up by 20. I figure, oh, well, it's the third quarter, right? So I don't even watch the rest of it. I don't care. Next morning I pick up the paper, and the Wizards lost by 5. And they're like, okay, yep, that sounds about right. Because everybody wins in the last quarter.
I told you don't watch till the fourth quarter. I literally don't watch NBA until the fourth quarter. Because I've had teams up by 20 at halftime, and then like I'll check like 30 minutes later, and I'm like, oh, you blew, you're winning by 5 now. Thanks. Like, there goes my cushion.
When people say, when they're going to see, a bunch of friends want to go see the Golden State Warriors play, and they said, is it fun to go? I said, look, what you want to do? Get there early and watch Steph Curry do his in the shoot around, because he puts on a show during his shoot around, and then don't wait till the fourth quarter, because nobody's saying,
go watch the.
They'll be down, they'll be down, but then all of a sudden Steph will hit like 9 threes in a row, and they're gone.
Show up early, watch the warm-ups, and then when the game starts, go get your food, your beer. Don't come back until the fourth quarter. Then sit down.
I am interested though in seeing how KD fits in that Phoenix deal, because they were good before. I don't,
Yeah.
How does he? Sometimes addition does not mean good things.
Oh yeah, did you see the Kyrie effect?
Well, I think we all could have predicted that one, but yeah.
So the first game was all, oh my God, we got this great talent.
Yeah, 24's first day out.
We beat the Kings. Luka was out, and we still stayed afloat on the road. How great is this Kyrie guy? And then you give the team like 2 or 3 days to get to know him, and they lose the next 2 games because it's like, oh my God, the rumors are true.
Nobody wants to be in the same locker room.
It's like, who the hell is this guy? And it's interestingly enough, the game they won was when Luka was out, and they've lost both games since Luka came back, and both Luka and Kyrie have been on the floor together.
I forget.
So there you go.
I forget who it was that they interviewed for the Nets after they just traded Kyrie. And they said, how was Kyrie as a teammate? And the guy straight into the camera says, I played here 2 years. I never said hello. Other than hello and goodbye, I didn't speak to him. I have no idea. I don't know him.
This is what I mean. The Mavericks are finding out now who this guy is.
It's like, Mr. Flat Earth is out there blowing this stuff up, and you're looking around going, I don't want to be near him, let alone, I'll throw him the ball because, contractually I'm obligated to do that. But, other than that, I really have no interest.
And that's the thing. A lot of these players probably see what's going on with him and they go, oh, I mean, you can't, like, he can't be that crazy, right? Like, they're blowing it up. They're definitely exaggerating. And then you talk to the guy and it's like, okay.
Well, I mean, if you flip back in the day, right, there was, when I was doing the games, it was Rodman, okay? And you would see the Pistons where he first was, and then he went to the Bulls. All the locker rooms would say, love the guy, absolutely love the guy. The moment he gets on the court, he's the knucklehead, okay? He does, that's Rodman the performer, okay? But Rodman the teammate, a whole different ballgame. It's the opposite with Kyrie, okay? Kyrie on the floor, is, at times a genius. Kyrie in the locker room, nobody wants to, get near him. So, he is a bit of kryptonite. There's no, I mean, I guess it boils down to how badly do you want to win? Are you willing to try to take Kyrie on to make him win? And I don't think he's going to help him, to the promised land because they're not that good. They're not going to be a championship team.
That's the key, right? I think they're kind of using him because they traded for him, but they don't necessarily have to sign him to that contract he wants, right? Because I think his contract's up at the end of the year, so they could use him, try to win a title, and then just say, "Okay, see you later. Go find somebody that actually wants."
Right. Call John Wall. Yes.
Go call LeBron. He'll take you back still.
I'm sure he will. Yeah,
he was very upset that the Lakers didn't get it done.
That I don't understand.
Yeah, did you hear his exact words? He goes, "I can't believe we let a massive talent like that go." Okay.
At that point, you wonder, as a general manager of the Lakers, is LeBron losing his mind?
Is LeBron fully invested in your team still?
Right.
Is he more focused on his post-NBA career, being out in Hollywood, destroying Space Jam franchises and other things?
And having movies made about people robbing his house. I do think that one line in the film, I don't know, I didn't see the film, but I do think that one line in the film where he goes, did they steal the Miami ring? Because he didn't earn that. I think that might have been the best line. No, I don't know. I never saw the film.
I didn't see the movie either, but that sounds very funny.
That clip is so great. It's like, they stole that ring. Yeah, he didn't earn that one.
That ain't your ring.
That's right. All right. Well, we're having too much fun, so that means we have to go. Anyway, tomorrow, Thursday, we will have stuff to talk about. There'll be games from today, and there'll be games that will be played tomorrow.
8 Europa League. Big slate.
And we will have Sean live from Barcelona. Who knows? He might be at the beach. You never know.
Maybe he'll be at the stadium for us.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'd like that.
Of course, if he's at the stadium, he's probably about 4 hours early for the game. But you put up for your, come on. He could do from the parking lot of the stadium.
Oh, he'd love that. He can go talk to Rashford before the game. That's fine.
Right, there you go.
Let him show up early.
He could have a couple of his buddies who are writers over there sitting down. We could have a round table over there. So anyway, we'll see what shows up with Sean tomorrow. But all right, guys, thanks for joining us, and we will be back tomorrow. Let me find my things here, my little closes. Have a great day, Amedeus. Take care, and we'll see everybody tomorrow at 9 a.m.